when New York Times has actually come out and said that the Democrats are facing a voter registration crisis. They're losing in all 30 states that track voter registration by party affiliation. They're losing in every single one. What do you say to that? That's not X propaganda. So what you do is you try to find as much information that backs your case on their sources. And now you could even turn around and say, I'm not a big fan of those sources, but even they're admitting. You see, it is an a fortiori argument. How much more than should we assume that what they're saying is true if they're crossing over with the very X crowd that you think is full of it? So if what X is arguing, or the sources Fox or Breitbart are arguing, are actually getting echoed by New York Times, CNN, you say that's pretty strong corroboration that we have something going on here. But I also would bring up the field of study of advocacy journalism. My namesake, Jonathan Turley, has done a lot of writing on advocacy journalism. And there's also been some stuff on progressive realism in the media, and how it really took over during the Obama years. I mean, we have objective studies that show the media, the corporate media, is extremely biased. I mean, just look at the whole Ukraine coverage. I mean, there is no possible way of reading the New York Times or the Washington Post other than seeing Ukraine as good and Russia bad. But those are value systems that can't be verified per se. It's part of a narrative that they're pushing, and then they fit the facts into that narrative. Now, they may be right. But there is clearly a non-factual narrative going on that they align the facts with. So there you go. That's some tips there. Thanks, RoboGuy. MAGA20 forever. Dr. Steve, last night I read an article about Dominion being bought by Liberty Vote. Yeah, they're going to sell it for scrap. An American-based company run by Republican Scott Leyendecker. They wrote that they're dedicated to restoring trust in our elections. To me, it seems like it could be huge. Can you comment on this development? Oh, yeah. No, as I from what I've read, and it's limited. So, I only know so much per se, or this is what the gist of it is that most of the Dominion ownership basically bailed. Most of the after November 5th, they were getting racked in the courts, particularly in if I recall, it was a Fulton County court. I can't remember, somewhere in Georgia, that I think the judge even has yet to rule on it. But there was a lot of evidence coming out suggesting that they were compromised in terms of their security. And after Trump won, just a lot of the CEOs, a lot of the investors just bailed. They're like, forget this. We got no hope here. There were a lot of states that voted to stop using Dominion. A lot of counties voted. So they were just losing market share left and right. Now they sued, of course, Fox News and so forth. And Rupert Murdoch didn't feel like fighting it in court. He didn't like the discovery that was already coming out.